The gym smelled of sweat and polished floors, a combination that spoke of discipline, hard work, and early mornings. The sun streamed through high windows, casting long shadows across the training mats. A group of Marines was gathered for practice, their chatter filled with confidence and light-hearted jokes. Amid them stood a new recruit, a young woman named Elena, whose presence seemed almost unnoticed at first glance. She was smaller than most of the others, and her uniform hung a little loose on her frame. Whispers quickly began circulating. "Do you see her? She's going to get flattened," one Marine murmured under his breath. Another snickered. "I can't believe they put her in our group." The laughter was quiet but sharp, cutting deeper than she wanted to admit. Elena felt a rush of heat rise to her cheeks, but she straightened her back and took a deep, steadying breath. She reminded herself that today wasn't about what others thought. Today was about her. Elena had always known she was different from those around her. Growing up, her grandfather had been her mentor, training her in the art of focus, precision, and self-discipline. Mia, he used to say, using her childhood nickname, strength isn't measured by size. It's measured by heart, skill, and focus. She carried those words with her, and now, in this unfamiliar gym surrounded by towering Marines, they felt more important than ever. The instructor barked orders, and practice began. Elena's movements were deliberate, controlled, and almost serene in their precision. She didn't rush, she didn't show off. Her eyes stayed locked on her drills, her body perfectly in sync with her training. The other Marines couldn't help but notice, but their skepticism remained. "She's going to trip over herself," one joked quietly, laughing as he stretched. Elena ignored them. She was focused, and that focus gave her an unshakable calm. As the session progressed, the Marines began sparring. Elena's first partner was a larger recruit who immediately assumed victory. He approached with a confident grin, underestimating her entirely. The room's energy shifted as others paused to watch, sensing what they expected to be an entertaining defeat. But Elena's eyes were sharp, scanning for opportunities. She remembered her grandfather's lessons: patience, observation, precision. And then, in one seamless motion, she moved. She dodged, pivoted, and executed a maneuver so clean and calculated it floored her opponent. Gasps echoed across the room. It didn't stop there. Over the next few moments, as multiple Marines attempted to challenge her in quick succession, Elena's technique and focus shone through. With a single sweep, she brought down 6 Marines one after another, each move fluid and unforced. The room went silent, the sound of falling bodies replaced by stunned disbelief. For the first time that morning, the snickers vanished. Shock and awe replaced laughter. The Marines, once so confident and dismissive, looked on in disbelief. "Did she just?" one muttered, barely audible. The instructor, standing at the side, allowed himself a small, approving smile. Elena, breathing steadily, sweat glistening on her brow, didn't celebrate. She simply stood there, calm and composed, the embodiment of discipline and determination. In that moment, she had proven something far greater than physical strength. She had proven that preparation, courage, and focus could overcome doubt and skepticism. The Marines who had snickered earlier now nodded in quiet respect. Elena wasn't just the new recruit or the smallest in the room anymore. She had earned their admiration. She had earned her place. This story of determination, skill, and heart is one that the Classified Courage channel shares often, stories that inspire, motivate, and remind us that real strength often comes in unexpected forms. Elena's journey is a reminder that no matter the odds, no matter the doubts others place on you, the right preparation and courage can turn the tide in your favor. After practice, the room's atmosphere had changed completely. The chatter was no longer mocking but filled with questions, curiosity, and newfound respect. "How did she do that?" one Marine whispered. Another simply shook his head in awe. Elena packed her gear quietly, not seeking attention, but she couldn't help feeling a quiet sense of accomplishment. She had faced doubt head-on and emerged stronger. Later that evening, as Elena reflected on the day, she thought of her grandfather again. His words echoed in her mind: strength isn't measured by size. It's measured by heart, skill, and focus. She realized now that it wasn't just about martial skill, it was about resilience, courage, and believing in yourself even when no one else does. Stories like Elena's are the reason classified courage exists, to showcase individuals who defy expectations, who challenge stereotypes, and who remind us all that courage comes in many forms. The lesson here isn't just for Marines or athletes, it's for anyone who has ever been doubted, underestimated, or overlooked. Sometimes, the most powerful moments happen quietly, without fanfare. Sometimes, it's one person, one move, and one decision that can shift perceptions entirely. Elena's story shows that with focus, preparation, and heart, even the seemingly impossible can be achieved. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to Classified Courage, where we share emotional, inspiring, and real-life stories of individuals who push boundaries and redefine what's possible. Remember, courage isn't always loud, it's often silent, steady, and unwavering, just like Elena. This tale also serves as a reminder that the next time someone doubts you, underestimates you, or even snickers at your effort, it might just be the perfect moment to show them the true strength that lies within. One move, one decision, one act of courage can completely change the way the world sees you. In the end, Elena didn't just floor 6 Marines, she flattened the barriers of doubt, the stereotypes of weakness, and the assumptions of others. And in doing so, she became an inspiration for everyone watching, a symbol of true strength, and a living testament to the power of focus, discipline, and heart. So remember, whenever you face a challenge, remember Elena and the lesson she gave the Marines that day. Courage isn't about being the biggest or the loudest, it's about preparation, belief in yourself, and the determination to act when it matters most. That's what real courage looks like, and that's exactly the kind of story you'll always find here on Classified Courage. The gym was quiet now, the echoes of impact lingering in the air. Elena stood at the center, sweat glistening on her brow, heart still pounding from the intensity of practice. Around her, the Marines were slowly picking themselves up, faces a mix of shock and respect. Those who had snickered earlier now looked at her with a new understanding. She wasn't just a small, underestimated recruit, she was a force to be reckoned with. The instructor finally spoke, breaking the silence. That, everyone, is precision, focus, and preparation, he said, his voice calm but firm. Watch and learn. Skill isn't about size, it's about timing, technique, and heart. Heads nodded around the room, some silently, some audibly murmuring in agreement. Elena lowered her gaze, a quiet smile forming, knowing she had proven her point without needing to shout or boast. Later, during the cool-down session, the Marines approached her. Some offered nods of acknowledgement, while others, still in awe, asked her how she had moved so quickly, so accurately. Elena shrugged with humility. It's all practice and focus, she said softly. And remembering what really matters, believing in yourself, even when others don't. Her words resonated. One of the taller Marines, who had laughed at her earlier, admitted, I didn't expect that. I misjudged you. Lesson learned. The group's dynamic shifted immediately. Respect replaced skepticism, camaraderie replaced derision. Elena had not only won their admiration, she had changed the atmosphere entirely. As she packed her bag, she reflected on the journey that had brought her here. It hadn't been easy. Long mornings, countless drills, and relentless dedication had prepared her for this moment. Each time she had doubted herself, she remembered her grandfather's wisdom, strength isn't measured by size. It's measured by heart, skill, and focus. Today, that lesson had been more than words, it had been proven in action. Outside the gym, the sun was setting, casting golden light over the base. Elena walked alone for a moment, feeling the quiet satisfaction of accomplishment. She knew this was only the beginning of her journey, but she also knew that no challenge, no matter how intimidating, could ever shake her confidence again. This story of courage and determination is exactly the kind of inspiration we share on Classified Courage. It's a reminder that the greatest victories often come when you face doubt head-on. Elena's journey teaches us that true strength isn't loud or boastful, it's quiet, focused, and unwavering. The next time someone underestimates you, remembers Elena's example. A single move, one well-timed action, can change perceptions, earn respect, and rewrite expectations. Courage is often hidden, quietly waiting for the right moment to shine, just as Elena demonstrated to 6 Marines and an entire training group. Her story also reminds us that respect isn't demanded, it's earned. And sometimes, earning it means standing firm, trusting your skills, and acting with precision when it matters most. For viewers, this is more than a tale of martial skill, it's a story of heart, resilience, and determination, qualities we all can embrace in our own lives. Elena didn't just floor 6 Marines, she broke barriers of doubt, challenged assumptions, and inspired those who once doubted her. Her story is proof that anyone, no matter how underestimated, can rise to the occasion and leave a lasting impact. And this is why we bring stories like hers to you here on Classified Courage, to celebrate bravery, focus, and the incredible power of the human spirit. So remember, courage isn't about being the biggest or the strongest, it's about preparation, belief, and action. If you're inspired by Elena's journey, hit that subscribe button on Classified Courage. We share real-life stories that move hearts, teach lessons, and remind us all that extraordinary strength often comes from the most unexpected places. One moment, one decision, and one act of courage can change everything, and Elena proved that beyond a doubt. Her story continues to resonate with everyone who witnesses it, reminding us that every obstacle is an opportunity and every doubt is a challenge to overcome. The Marines who laughed at her that morning now carry the memory of her skill and courage, a lesson they will never forget. And for anyone watching, Elena's journey is an invitation: trust yourself, act with focus, and embrace the power within you. This is more than just a story of physical skill, it's a story of heart, resilience, and courage. And it's stories like these that make Classified Courage a place where inspiration lives, and where we can all remember that true strength comes from within. So whenever you feel underestimated, doubted, or overlooked, remember Elena and the 6 Marines. Remember that courage is quiet, steady, and unstoppable when fueled by focus, preparation, and belief in yourself. And most importantly, remember to carry that courage into every challenge you face.